Where did my voice just go? Hey y'all, I came on here to be transparent. Literally, that's it. Because that's what the walk is about, transparency. The purpose of the Healed Woman podcast was to follow the line of transparency is healing, right? So when we're transparent, we're able to heal and help others heal. And I'm gonna be very transparent about um, things that I've experienced, things that I have to heal before um, getting in communion or getting married again. I will get married again. It's just there's a lot of things that I have to work on for my kingdom spouse, just because of where I come from. So, for instance, me being a solid person and being concerned with if the other person or other people are being solid with me, or having to question that. Being in that mental state for years really changes you. It really changes you, um, like no other. So learning to be able to trust without bounds um, is what I'm working on. And so I hope this encourages somebody. But me being in a situation to where I was very nice. Um, I'm learning to come out of this so people will know like you can't play with me. But I am the type that I'm not gonna be too worked up over what's going on down here on earth. I'm not gonna be worked up on the fact that you out here doing something that you're not supposed to do to me. Like, okay, it is what it is. And I'm a nonchalant person, and I'm working on that, y'all, because what people will do is they'll take advantage of that and they'll go do X, Y, and Z behind your back because they know that if you do find out, you're gonna be. See, I'm a quiet exiter, right? I don't know if y'all have heard of that phrase before, but you'll never know when I get to my peak because I'm always like, good morning, Pauline. I'm always like, it is what it is. Like, so I'm learning how to. I'm still talking to God about that. I'm still talking to God about if that's healthy, if that's what I should be doing, or if I should start maneuvering in a different way, right? Have I ever been cheated on? Yes. And that's what I want to talk about today. I am going through a divorce right now, but I got married. Well, we've been together since I was 19, y'all. I'm 30. So we were very young when I met. I was very vulnerable, very hurt, and not ready. I knew I wasn't ready for no relationship because I was vulnerable in a vulnerable state at that time. And it was taken advantage of because like I said, I'm a soft spoken person and I don't like I'm not gonna go haywire. Like that's just me. I'm calm, cool, and collected. Like, okay, you did that. Like, that's messed up. Like, okay, now what? Because I move on from things quick. But that was taken advantage of, and it was like, oh, he probably thought I was green. That's what it was. But I knew all of it, y'all. When I say I knew all of it, and I'm not saying that he's the same person that he was when he was doing all the things, because people change. God convicts people and changes them and turns them from their wicked ways. Not saying, but I'm talking about where we were, right? And speaking on that because I was in a situation where the person was a completely different person than they were behind my back, and it just wasn't fair, you know? Like it wasn't fair because I was this sweet, like I'm gonna hold you down to the ground. Like that's just me. I never talked to any other man. We've been together for 10 years. I waited till year 8 to have a conversation with somebody. So, that type of stuff really damages you. And I know that God is going to heal me through this process, which it's been a gradual process. The breakup has been a gradual process for me. Hey, Stacy. And so thank God, because a lot of people don't get that gradual process or that gradual time to like detach. And I am a anxious attachment style. Good morning. I'm an anxious attachment style, y'all. So it's hard to detach, like, because I deal with abandonment. So I got attached to this person. We've been together for 10 years, and it's like all I've ever known, right? Thank you. It's all I've ever known. But the detachment part, y'all, is so hard. Like, I don't have to worry about what that man doing no more. I don't have to worry about this, that, and the third. Happy Christmas Eve. Um, I don't have to worry about that. But sometimes I find myself like, oh, what if he's doing this? What if he's that? And that is not where I want to be for my kingdom spouse. Like this whole 2026 is catered to preparing myself fully and healing for my kingdom spouse. Whenever God sees fit for that to happen, because I'm a lover girl. I am a lover girl. I don't care what people have done to me. I don't care if X, Y, and Z happen. Um, because I know that I'm a great woman. Very rare, very rare that you find a woman like I'm convicted. Like God convicts me on things that some women can do. There's certain things that I can't do. Like if I give you my word, I have to stick to my word. There's no wavering. There's none of that. And so even when I did have my second where I did talk to someone else, it still was convicting. It was like, why are you made this commitment? So for me, like as far as marriage, I don't know. I haven't had a boyfriend girlfriend in about 5 years. We got married 5 years ago. So for me, I have a covenant with God, right? And that's something that I'm gonna respect. I don't care what you do. I'm gonna respect what I told God that I would do, and I promised God that I would do in the marriage. And that's what I stuck to. It was very hard. It was very hard knowing that somebody is knowing that people somebody God didn't tell me to leave immediately, y'all. And sometimes he won't. I don't know if there's any married ladies. I am totally for working your marriage out. Like I'm not on here trying to condone divorce or anything like that. I am totally for working it out if it's your God ordained spouse. If it is not, I none of that stuff applies that it talks about in the Bible because you're not in a God ordained marriage. It's not from God. Like anybody can get married. Hey Mud. Hey Steven. Hey Zolene. Zolay. Anybody can get married, but that don't mean that all of these things in the Bible are meant for you to follow. If you're in something in your own will, you're in your own covenant. So you make your rules. Now, if it's God ordained and this is your kingdom spouse, obviously no one can break the three-string cord. So that lets you know there. And then just the foundation on which your marriage is built on. If it's not built on God, which is, you know, I that's a part of the reason of how I woke up is me coming back to God, right? Me coming back to God and getting serious and saying, God, whatever you want, take it, like have it, forget it. I don't want it. If you don't want me to have it, I don't want it. And so I got to that point in my relationship with God to where all I wanted was God. And so in turn, he told me, girl, you gonna have to get up out of there. That's not my girl. Look, not with my girl. Not with my girl. That's what he said. And I said, you know what? You are right. So I encourage everybody to evaluate their relationships and their friendships Since we are coming to the end of the year, don't wait to the end of the year, but it's a great time to go ahead and assess your relationships to see where to place friends, because there are certain friends where you have for um spiritual alignment. Sorry, y'all. You have friends for spiritual alignment. You have friends that you are there for, but you can't really confide in. So you got to know who you can share your business with, and they actually be able to be there for you on that end, and vice versa. Like, know who you can confide in, and who's, like, some people. Like, for me, I'm a person that everybody comes to, but I've learned to discern which people are my people and which aren't. Because if you try to take on things that are not your assignment, it comes with a ton of unnecessary warfare, right? Hey, Raylan. It comes with a ton of unnecessary warfare that you would not have to even take on if you knew that it wasn't your assignment. And that's what I learned too, is that during the whole my marriage, y'all, I tried to heal him. I tried to change him, knowing that I couldn't. Only God could. But I fasted. I prayed on his behalf. I um definitely broke the spirits off of him. Once I found out what spirits he was working out of, I did break them off, because, today he seems as though he has had an awakening, which is none of my business at this point, because I suffered well, and it's time. God is elevating me to a new level, but that's all that I ever want for him, is for him to be a better man, right? Because that is the father of my kids. And when you have kids, you have to be very careful about how you handle women, because some of that stuff will come and backlash on your kids. Like, it's very important that you be honest, at the very least, be honest with the women on what it is that you want or what you desire. Let them know, hey, I'm not exclusively yours, and that's okay, all right? It's okay, I promise. But you gain more respect by doing that, anyways. And then it's a whole spiritual thing that ties into that too, when you're being real. I've seen it firsthand. But I'm truly going through a healing process, another healing process, because we're ever healing. So, with the Healed Woman podcast, I will be going on here, going live, just talking about my experience from um, married to single with two kids. Um, I haven't been alone, y'all, ever. Like, when I graduated high school, I went to college. I had a roommate. From college with a roommate, I went to, dang, sorry. I went to living by my. Sorry, I muted myself when the phone fell. But anyways, I was just saying that I've never lived by myself. I went straight from college to living with this man, and then been with him ever since. And so now this is my first time being by myself. So I'm just excited for the journey to see how it is. I will say that God has put me in a season where I could not talk to anybody or trust anybody. That is another part of my testimony, is I was in a relationship where there was a lot of manipulation, and people were, even my closest friends, I could not talk to because nobody would understand. It was just a place where I just felt like I can't even talk to y'all because y'all would not even know the half. It was so much that I dealt with on my own, to where if I try to explain this to somebody else, they wouldn't even understand. Like, they wouldn't understand. So there was a season where God taught me to be by myself and learn how to hang out with myself, love on myself. And I think that was preparation for this season that I'm walking into of being single. Granted, I have 2 kids, so but just learning how to maneuver on my own because I've always had a roommate or my boyfriend at the time. So it's definitely a transition. So y'all definitely pray for me during this time. It's gonna be a change, but it's all for the good because I fasted and prayed for this decision. So it's not like I'm doing it off of impulse. I know that anything that I walk in obedience with, hey Pauline, anything that I walk in obedience with, according to what God has told me to do, it's gonna work out exactly how He's supposed to work it out. All right, I'm not really doing Christmas this year. I have a lot going on. We that's um. One second, D. I'll answer your question. Um, we honestly, I'm gonna be totally transparent. The person that I was with didn't really celebrate holidays, and so we haven't really celebrated Christmas in years. Granted, I still stand on not doing Christmas trees and all that. I'm not into that. Now I will start to do gift giving with my kids every year, just to recognize the time of giving. I will do that. We will do that and start our own little traditions. Um, what does a new relationship look like to me? So guys, first things first, you gotta know Jesus. You gotta want Jesus more than me. That is like number one. Like I carry a mantle that is heavy. So like I have to have somebody that has a spiritual backing that can help hold me up because I've been with this man. This let me stop saying it. I've been with my baby daddy. Nah, let me stop. I've been with him for 10 years and he never really was into his word like he should have been. And it really, really, really took a toll on me. And I refuse to go back through that. But I am called to like a lot of people, um, during my time here. And so there's, things that I have to deal with that people that are not called in ministry don't have to deal with. And I need someone that's going to have a strong backing spiritually. And everything else falls like how it's supposed to after that, in my opinion. But definitely that this is my first time in a very long time paying bills, but God will provide. And it's different for me. Not saying that I can't pay my bills, but just coming from a marriage where I wasn't paying bills, these past 2 or 3 years, um, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. Amen. Increase and overflow. But yeah, that's my main thing when it comes to a new relationship. Good morning. It's not that I couldn't keep my husband. He wasn't my husband in the first place, and I knew that. So I do take my responsibility on marrying somebody that I knew wasn't sent by God, or maybe may have been out of season. He wasn't honest up front about what he wanted. That's just that on that. And he wasn't presenting himself as who he really was. And so I married somebody that he wasn't. I would definitely have more kids. I want a boy. But like I said, I want it to be in the right situation. Um, so that comes with time. Hopefully, I can make this all happen. He loved me, but he dealt with a lot of demons. He didn't take care of me all those years. It was only 2 years when I said, "Look, if you're gonna be the man of the house, you have to provide." And so, thank you, Rachel. Um, Once I said that, he stepped up. Thank you. he stepped up to the plate and started paying the bills, which I am so grateful for the providing. But that was literally it, and it's so much more to me than to marriage than just providing. I'm not gonna stick around and be manipulated and all the things. Oh, I do. Oh, I mean, it's just a matter of what women are willing to put up with, and one thing that I'm not willing to put up with is what I did wrong was marrying him in the first place. We both weren't ready for marriage. Yes, there was a point where I was very quiet in the beginning and let him do whatever he wanted to do. But then it came to a breaking point where I said, "No, sir, you're right. I did speak up." I'm sorry to hear that, Rachel. I mean, all things are working together for our good. Um, I do see that a lot of his God's daughters are waking up and realizing what they need. Oh, I took responsibility. I said I should have never married him in the first place. I think that's accountability. I wish that I was healthy enough and not vulnerable during that time, um, to where I felt as though I needed to marry him. He gave me a sense of comfort, right? And when you deal with abandonment and oh no, when you deal with abandonment, um, you tend to cling on to things that aren't necessarily good for you. Um, so I wasn't healed. I wasn't healed at that time. So I married the man. And granted, I was not discerning like I am today. Okay. He wasn't paying bills, baby, when I met him. Just 50-50. Rachel Pisser, what's going on in the chat this morning? Who peed in y'all's cereal? We're separated. We co-parent very well. We're still friends. Um, we still friends. But I know that um, once you do certain things, you only have a certain access to me, and that's okay. God does says to guard your guard your heart above all else, and that's exactly what I had to do. But I can't. Um, it's your fault. Yeah, I have some fault in it. But he was also preying on somebody that was vulnerable as well. He knew. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works out that way to where it is too scary of a situation for friendship. Like I said, I have to be no, I had to pay bills. 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 And then when I was about to leave the first time, because there was no providing taking place, I told him like, you're gonna have to step up, and we're gonna have to step up. Just gonna have to step up. It's fine. I love questions. I'm a type of person that likes to have uncomfortable conversation. So it's nothing to me. Yeah. And see, since I see in the spiritual realm, I saw the things that were working within him, and I was able to break those off of him. It's a matter of him being able to sustain that now. It's a matter of him being able to sustain that going forward. And I pray that he does. I really do. No, I never got into a relationship trying to use him because he didn't have no money in the beginning. There was nothing to use. I loved him. I loved him, not the money, not his. I just it wasn't his resources. It was strictly the vibe, the connection that we had. Strictly that. Oh no, man. Yeah, we don't want that. Goal is to have him around less. Yes. Yeah, I need my space. I need my space. I need my space. I need my space. I absolutely condone women having being able to sustain themselves, no matter married or not, which I am able to. I'm just saying there was a point where it was like, okay, if you want to be a husband, that is part of being a husband. You know, it is protect and provide. Um, so if he was able to pay the bills, then you should be paying the bills. Okay. Yeah, I am very, very seasoned in the spirit, been seasoned in the spirit. I suggest that you become a little more discerning on what to speak on and what not to. Yeah, it's a matter of communicating your needs and your wants in marriages, right? And being able to give whatever your partner needs to them and working with them and things like that. But it has to go both ways. It has to go. There was no lies told. There was a vibe, of course. I'm not gonna talk to nobody that there wasn't no vibe with. Obviously, we connected, but that doesn't mean that we should be together. Oh, stay tuned. We doing an episode first of the year. You can get all the details. We doing an episode together, so you can hear him, you can hear me, and we can just hash it all out. So make sure y'all subscribe and turn on your push notifications so y'all can see that first episode. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire because this is what you should do. We're gonna show y'all the healthy way of departing. Like it's okay. Like people work out. Some people do. Some people don't. I think this is from Sheen. This hat is from Sheen. Um, yeah, it's gonna be great. I want to be able to show how you can come out of things in a mature manner and a healthy manner and move forward, right? Because it don't have to be nasty and scram scram. Like I could have been nasty, but I'm not. Like I'm not asking for anything. I just don't want to be in the marriage anymore. I don't want nothing from you. I'm good. So that just lets you know right there that I don't, you know. But I'm about to go get a massage. Y'all have a good one.